words and friendship, Toastmaster Ishan Mundhra.
Good evening, Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. I'd like to take you all back to January 2023. One of my friends, Toastmaster Raghav, had been in this club for 6 months and he had been behind my life to come and see a meeting here. But I was so terrified of public speaking that I thought, what if I come here and someone tells me, you get up and come on the stage and speak. Just because of that fear, I procrastinated and delayed it for almost 6 months. Then a point came when he was fed up of me. He said, now I will not pursue you to join me. And that is when my ego hit. And now I was like, I will come the very next meeting and prove him wrong. Then I gathered all the courage in me and decided to walk these stairs up of the Calcutta Chambers of Commerce. For the first time in my life, I had seen people greeting a stranger. Toastmaster Meghna, Toastmaster Kritika and Toastmaster Hamza came to me and they started talking to me. I was amazed and shocked at the same time. Why are people coming and talking to me? Am I not the one who is going to their club? I should be the one to go and interact with them. And that feeling made me so warm that I got intrigued by Toastmasters. I sat through the first 2 meetings. But the third meeting was a game changer for me. The third meeting was a special meeting. It was a meeting in which 2 of our chartered members, our best speakers, distinguished Toastmaster Naveen Mishra and distinguished Toastmaster Siddharth Churiwal were called to speak. I had seen the flyer was a 30-minute speech. I had decided not to go. My friend called me, he's like, you have to come no matter what. If you feel bored, get out of the meeting, but you come. When I came to the meeting, I was awed. I was shocked. For not even a second, my attention went here or there. I concentrated on their speeches. And at the end, I was like, even if I become a fraction of what they are, it would be a great accomplishment in my life. And that is the point I decided to join Toastmasters. After joining Toastmasters, I was given a mentor. My mentor, Toastmaster Hamza. For 2 months, he pursued me to write a speech about myself. My first speech, the icebreaker speech. But I was so reluctant, and every time he called me, Ishan, what happened to your speech? I was like, Hamza, I got stuck in some work, some family function. I can't write a speech. After that, he's like, now I have booked a slot for you. You have to give a speech in front of 50 people. If you don't prepare, go on the stage and be blank. At that point, I had no option rather than that to write a speech. So I went online and did the easiest thing possible. Went on ChatGPT, write an icebreaker speech for 4 to 6 minutes for a person doing CFA, this graduating and all my info. And within 5 seconds, my speech was ready. I thought, I am the hero. What are people doing in nowadays? So I sent my speech. And within 5 minutes, I got a call back. Do you think you're the smartest person in the room? I was like, what happened? What did I do? He's like, I know. This speech is off the internet. Write a second speech and send me immediately. I was shocked. I thought I'm the smartest one in the room, but I turned out to be the dumbest. So I started writing my speech. But my speech writing finished on the day of my speech. That is how procrastination I was doing at that point. Even after that, he decided to mentor me. The same day, he sat with me 3 times on Google Meet and did the mentoring. Eventually, I came up on the stage here and delivered my speech. That speech was like, I think so, the speech in which I was nervous. I forgot everything to a point that I even ended the speech without a conclusion. Those of you who were here would remember that I gave a speech without a conclusion and I just walked off the stage. People were giving me a standing ovation. What I thought is they were applauding for me so that I stop speaking and get out of the stage. Later that night, I came to know that was not the reason why they were applauding. They were applauding because they applauded the effort that I took to come up on stage, the courage that I brought in myself by coming up and delivering my speech. And that changed my mentality around. I decided to write another speech, practice it well, and deliver again in KTM. At that point, not only did I win the best speaker certificate, but also the most improved speaker. And that put my motivation down the cloud. And then I got hooked on to writing a speech and delivery. All was going well, and in the meantime, during December 2023, I got elected as the secretary of Kolkata Toastmasters Club. The first week of January, I just started my role. I had taken up a role of a speaker, and my very dear friend Toastmaster Rajvansh had taken up a role of a general evaluator. Just before the meeting, a day before the meeting, we had gone to attend the wedding of one of my friend's brothers. It got late around 11. After that, one of my friends called me, Ishan, let's go to toy room. We are in town only for 5 days. I was like, ठीक है, speech है, देखा जाएगा. This basically means speech है, I'll manage it. And I decided to go party. At 6 a.m., I returned to my house. And at 7, I called Raghav. Hello, Raghav. I'm sorry, but I can't deliver the speech. He's like, I don't know anything. You will have to deliver the speech no matter what. Because on that day, I was the only speaker there and he was the general evaluator. If we would not have gone to the meeting, the first meeting of the year of that club would have been cancelled. So, my mentor and my friend rushed to the club, taking up the role of the speaker and general evaluator, and eventually the meeting was completed. That evening, I got a call from him. And all of you know, if he is calling you and shouting at you, that means you have done something that's terribly wrong. That was the first time I came to know that his voice can even raise above a level. That day, I realized that I have done a lot wrong. I have to correct myself, and from that day, I stopped taking roles for granted and always came on my feet. During my EC term, I had the privilege to be a part of the organizing team of the 800B meeting. I was given a role to come before the members at around 7 a.m. and organize the place, get the decorations in place, take the Maharaj and all of that, and said everything done. Though that was a very small part, but it gave me a sense of responsibility, a sense of credibility that I could do something. And after that, I kept taking on roles while moving forward. Now, let's move forward a bit more. From that person who was so nervous and scared about just giving a speech on himself, I recently gave a speech about my insecurity. Something that I couldn't even talk to in front of 5 people, let alone writing a speech about it and delivering in a room full of people. That is what Toastmasters helped me do. From being a person who couldn't even come on stage and talk about himself to a person who could come on stage and talk about his insecurities. And now is the point when I'm proud of delivering my path completion speech after almost 15 speeches. But Toastmasters, my dear friends, is not this. This is just a small part of what Toastmasters is doing. Toastmasters is not just about public speaking, improving your body language, voice modulation and all of that. It is much more than that. To me, Toastmasters is the people. To me, Toastmasters is the connections that I've built here, the friendships I've built here, the memories I've created, the memories that I'll cherish for my entire life. I had heard before that you can make good friends in Toastmasters and all of that, but I totally dismissed it because I am a person who did not make even one single friend in college. I had made some friends in school, and that is who I sticked around with my entire life. So for me, making friends in a public speaking club was like, anyone can think that it's an impossible event. So I totally dismissed the fact. But whenever we say that something will not happen, the universe makes it happen. And then what happened is, during December 2023, I started talking to Toastmaster Vaibhav and Rajvansh. We started going out a bit, we started talking on calls, and to this point, there has come a time when there's hardly a day when we don't speak, hardly a week when we don't meet. That is what is the kind of friendships that I've got from Toastmasters. Toastmaster Meghna, I think so till our 800B meeting, all relation that we have was Toastmaster Ishan and Toastmaster Meghna. That is all the conversation we had. But after that, I got to know her She mentored me in my CFA attempts and all of that. And in that process, I ended up becoming great friends with her. Toastmaster Hamza. I'll tell you a short story about him. 2 days ago, I called him up and I'm like, you are coming for my speech? He's like, no, I have to go to Durgapur for some work. I told him, you will miss my participation. And that he said, okay, now I'll come. He cancelled, he postponed, he preponed his trips. And today, he's sitting with us. That is what is the kind of mentor and friend he is to me. So I can't say anything more than that for him. I have made more connects with Toastmaster Tadru, Toastmaster Devapriya, who I came to know during my EC term. At that point, we started talking. And with time, we have become very good friends. Now, let's come to the mentors who helped me become the person I am. The first person I would like to acknowledge is distinguished Toastmaster Rohan. He was a person, when he comes on stage, he emits confidence. When he speaks, no matter what he is speaking, the audience will listen to him. That is the aura he brings with him when he is on stage. That is what I have tried to get a little from him. Whenever I go to him after a speech, he's like, "Champ, you've done a great job." And these words help me take roles forward. Distinguished Toastmaster Anutosh ji, he has been here for a few of my speeches, but whenever he comes to KTL, he gives me evaluations that I can never think of in my life. He gives me such minute evaluations about my speech and body language that help me transform myself into a way better public speaker. Toastmaster Santosh ji, he is a very senior member, but he has been warm to me ever since my first day in Toastmasters. He has been a person who has always been so reachable that whenever I have problems, whenever I was thinking about giving speeches, he always encouraged me to come up on stage and give speeches. That is what Toastmasters has given me. Toastmasters is not just about public speaking, it is about growth. My growth couldn't have been possible at the rate that it has happened if these friends, if these people, my friends, wouldn't have been there as a part of it. What do you think, Toastmaster of the day?